Alright, so the old 5.3 and the 96 Camaro. Like, you can still see where the coolant splashed out. That coolant never dries. Antifreeze never dries. That's why they get so mad at you when you spill it on the track. But I haven't touched this car since I come back from the drag strip. And it squirted. Well, the first two passes, it didn't do it. But on the third pass, there was coolant around here where it shot coolant out. And there was this. Well, that broke. I need another one of those. This doesn't screw all the way on. It's stripped out. See? I don't know which side is stripped out, but yeah, it's stripped out. But anyway, coolant comes out here too. And it stays cool through the whole quarter-mile pass. I watched it last time. The last time, and it did do it the last time. After the quarter-mile pass, when you shut down, that's when it starts to overheat. And then as you come around the return road to get the ticket from the ticket booth, it's about 230. And then after I got my ticket, it gets up to 230 there, and then as you drive around, it cools back down to 160, 170 by the time I'm back at the pits parking. But look, there's no coolant going at all. Now the overflow's empty. I mean, but there's no coolant going at all, and it's not smoking a lick. So I mean, I don't know. But I'm gonna try this little trick I saw on YouTube, where you put a bunch of tape, black tape. I need some more black tape. I brought some with me too. Put a bunch of tape, get that to fit tight down in there. Then you fill this up with water, and then I'm gonna let it idle and try to get all the air out of it. See if we get any bubbles. We're gonna have to fill this up too, because when the vehicle gets hot, it's gonna try to suck some in. If this is empty, it'll suck in air. We don't want that. But yeah, that's what we're gonna try. If y'all have any ideas why it's doing this, please let me know. But I guess it's not too big of a deal. I just definitely don't want to get coolant on the track. I don't think it's spraying out enough to do that, but definitely don't want it to get worse. But we're going to try to burp it like this. Alright, it's doing its thing. I did get some bubbles out there squeezing it. I don't think the thermostat's opened up yet though. I'm going to go one step further and jack this side up. That way this is the highest point. Alright, I revved it up. That antifreeze looks dirty. I think that's just rust though, because it was rusty down inside the block. But I revved it up, squeezed the hoses, revved it up, squeezed the hoses, revved it up, squeezed the hoses. And actually some bubbles came out. Not enough that I think that would cause an issue, but bubbles came out. So the next test and tune, or maybe this weekend, I'll just do it. The weird thing about it is if you get on the highway and you get on it, it don't do it. It only does it at the drag strip during a dig quarter-mile pass. If you go out on the highway, you can go through second and third wide open. It don't do it. I don't know. It's confusing me. I mean, the coolant level was completely full. I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Alright. Got the Camaro there. But this thing don't zoom out any, does it? But yeah. So I burped it with just like a homemade thing that you put over, you know, like a funnel and filled up with water. I burped it real good. And the coolant overflow does have a really small leak, but I'm gonna take that thing to Kentucky Dragway today. They're doing some heads up racing and some bracket racing. I'm gonna jump in the Sportsman class, see what we can't do. Now I'm here at Kentucky Dragway. I parked back by the return road this time. Get a view of the trees. But yeah, see if burping the system helping any. We got 2 time trials. Then it goes into the Sportsman racing. See if you can't win a trophy. Doubt I will. Not been good at trophy racing lately. Test pass number 1 for Sportsman. Looks like there's about 12 cars in line. DA is 2,400 at around a 12.59, and it's still blowing the overflow cap off. It just blows it clean off and just missed the passenger side fender well a little bit. None of it's getting on the track, but I don't know why it's doing that. And you know, I did notice it did it the first time I sprayed nitrous because it got on the windshield then, but I don't know if it was doing it before that or after that. But the overflow cap, it doesn't get, it's kind of stripped out, so I put a piece of tape on it. But yeah, I cleaned it up, but it blew the cap off. The cap was sitting over here, and it just messed up here a little. But it didn't push much out because that's still almost full. If it's any low, it's probably about that low. So, but none come out the radiator cap. I don't know. I'm gonna get one of those things that'll, you know, it's got the liquid in it, and the liquid changes color if it's a blowed head gasket. Which I didn't retighten my studs after a heat cycle, like you're supposed to do, which I've never done that before, and I've never had a problem. But I don't know, man. I honestly do not know.
And there's also a couple LT1s. I love the LT1s. Even though LS swapped my car, there's always going to be a place in my heart for the LT1s, and I may go back to an LT1 one day, or a small block Chevy, I'm not sure. But this is my buddy Rick's car. I stole this photo from his Facebook page. I hope he don't mind. But you'll also see Brittany Automotive and her LT1. The blue LT1 Rick's car, it's a bolt-on, just a bolt-on car. I think that it's ran a best of 12.8 that day it ran a 12.9 and a 13.1, I think, during testing. But the night before, Brittany Automotive in the black with, I believe that's an orange stripe, her truck and a car matches. It's kind of cool. But she ran a 10.8, and that's it's just a stock LT1 it's been gone through, and it bored over to a 355, and it's got a cam and 150 shot of nitrous. That ran a 10.8 the night before. But anyway, so Rick and Rob helped me out, and we take the overflow tank out of my car and see if it was leaking any, or if there was any problems with that. We didn't see any problems with it, so I just put it all back together. But I do appreciate them guys helping me out with that.
I forgot to turn the GoPro on for that one, but that's run number 2, 064 light. That's good. And Sportsman, this time it ran at 1257. Alright, so I came to the conclusion this thing's blowed a head gasket when I sprayed the nitrous. It rained and slowed us down, but I stuck a bunch of rags down in the overflow so nothing comes out. So I'm gonna finish this race, and then I think Christopher's is blowed a head gasket too. It's just enough to where the piston's coming up and lifting the head and putting pressure in the coolant system. I think Christopher's doing the same thing, except for it's getting coolant in the exhaust because his smokes. You know, you try to think it's something else because you don't want to pull your heads, but I think that's it. But race season's almost over, so I'm gonna pull the heads on both of them and just change the head gaskets. Definitely this one. I mean, we can try a few things on Christopher's to make absolutely sure his ain't that issue, but this one is definitely that issue because it's blowing the cap clean off the overflow. But yeah, I'm surprised how just a 5.3 with a cam runs, but I can't believe it blowed a head gasket on a 100 shot. I left my window down, it poured the rain. I was over there getting something to drink. Oh well. My butt's wet from sitting on a wet trailer anyway. Seats are shot. Interior in this car is terrible. The dash, the upper dash and the seats, everything else ain't that bad, honestly. Carpet can be cleaned. The seats need replaced or recovered, and so I'm probably just gonna put racing seats in it, and the dash needs one of them dash covers. But yeah, I ran a 1259 and 1257. I think I'm gonna dial in 1255, see what it does. All right, first round eliminations. There's 14 cars back through there, and I dialed in at 1250 because the DA went down. There's slower cars and there's faster cars. We're gonna go 1250. We got the LT1, buddy of mine. We run 12.9 and a 13.15. We're gonna do 13.10. V6 Camaro, V6 Charger, I believe. Yeah. See what happens. There's double buybacks, but if I lose, I'm out because of the whole coolant issue thing. Well, just like that, I'm out. Which I can tell the car ain't running right now. It's got a blow head gasket. It should have run 1250 or better, and it ran. That's the slowest pass ever. So he beat me on the lot by 0.027. Shaking the camera. He dialed in 1470. I dialed in 1250. I was over by 0.128, and he was over by 0.135. So that's 007 there, but he beat me by 027 on the tree. So he beat me on the tree. I beat him on the dial in, but he beat me on the tree. Yeah, well, there are 2 round buybacks, but I'm not going to buy back because this Honestly, I probably shouldn't even be racing it the way it's doing. So you can see it even did it worse that time. And I had this stuff down inside here. So it's actually not even coming out of there because that's not even wet. It must be spewing out the radiator cap. It's up here. They did it a lot worse that time. It usually doesn't do it this bad. So I'm definitely not racing again. Looks like it's wet right there. I don't know. Definitely got to blow that gasket. 100 shot of nitrous blows the head gaskets. People told me that these cars are good for blowing head gaskets on nitrous. I had China head studs and eBay LS9 head gasket. I don't know. Hopefully I can get those head studs out of there. Get the motor in the car. But yeah, it's definitely going to need head gaskets. I wonder if them heads were. I wonder if it's been how long it's been like that. I mean, it could have. It could be a cracked head, and the head could have been cracked the whole time. And I didn't even notice when I put it back together because I didn't have the heads checked. But yeah. Well, that'll conclude this video. Y'all have a great one.